to Roots and Roofs, where we explore the intersection of motherhood and entrepreneurship in the real estate world. I am your host, Mackenzie Shelton. Join us as we dive into the unique journey of balancing family life with owning a thriving real estate business. Each episode, we will uncover inspiring stories, practical tips, mindset conversations, and expert insights from others who are carving their paths in the real estate industry. Whether you are a seasoned realtor, a prospective buyer, or simply curious about the dynamics of managing both home and career, Roots and Roofs is your go-to podcast for heartfelt discussions and invaluable advice. Tune in and discover how these incredible women are building deep roots from the ground up while nurturing their families under the same roof. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I am going to talk today about how you can find your niche market in real estate sales. So real estate sales can be a very lucrative career if you put in the work and learn how to connect with people. One of the best things that I ever did for my real estate career was creating a niche for myself in the market. This has allowed me to stand out amongst my peers in the industry and find a passion inside the business. Most would think that niching down in the market can limit the groups of people that you serve, but I have found that to be further from the truth. I moved to an acreage in Underwood, Iowa in 2017 after the birth of our third child. My husband grew up on a small acreage nearby and always wanted to live a country lifestyle again. So my city slicker self got on board. To be honest, the first year was rough, but after the initial shock of not having a grocery store and a Target within 10 minutes of my house were off, I was really loving the quiet, slow pace of life that the countryside offered. That following year, I was fortunate enough to sell a gorgeous acreage property in the Malvern area. I had already been promoting my sales on social media, but this time was different as I dubbed myself the acreage queen on this particular sale. The nickname was received well, and to be honest, I just kind of ran with it after that. Over the next few years, I sold several more acreage farm and land properties, all while continuing to promote the acreage queen moniker. My real estate peers were starting to send me their acreage and land referrals, and my client base, friends, and family did the same. Gradually, when people think about selling an acreage, I've been the person that comes to mind for them. Developing a niche in real estate can help you stand out in a competitive market and attract a very specific clientele. So here are just some things to help you maybe think about and develop a niche in the real estate market. Self-reflection. So what are you most passionate about in real estate? Identify your interests and your strength. Consider what aspects of real estate you really enjoy and excel in, and maybe pick something that kind of sparks your interest. Market research is always a great way to kind of figure out what niche would work best for you. So it would be best to analyze the local real estate market and look for gaps or underserved segments where you can specialize. For instance, I have a real estate friend who services VA clients. So that's kind of her niche market. She is a veteran herself and her husband is still active military. And so it is such a great little kind of corner of the market that she can really dive into. And a lot of people go to her now just specifically for their VA clients. Also, you do need to make sure to identify a target audience. So determine your target audience based on demographics, interests, or special needs. Just some examples could be first-time home buyers, luxury, investors, seniors, military, etc. Also, one of the ways that you can kind of actually figure out maybe what sparks your interest or the niche that you want to consider is write down exactly what your ideal client looks like based on the interests that you have. Specialized training and education is also super important. So sometimes, depending on the niche that you have, you need to gain additional training or certifications related to your chosen niche. This enhances your expertise and builds credibility. For example, I joined KW Land, which is an exclusive group that helps its members get additional support and education on land and farm sales. So this is very important to me when I go on appointments. If I'm meeting with an acreage client or a land client, I'm very sure to mention this. And all it does is give me more credibility with the client. Also, I think it's super important to build a unique value proposition. So clearly articulate what sets you apart from other real estate agents, highlight your specialization and how it benefits the client specifically. Use social media to establish a voice for yourself in your chosen niche. So just for instance, because I like to focus on land and acreage sales, a lot of my social media content is actually kind of around country life, homesteading, livestock, gardening, all of the things that are maybe going to relate to clients who want to live an acreage lifestyle, that those are going to be their interests as well. Also, networking is super important. Attending industry events, joining relevant groups, and networking with professionals in your chosen niche. So establishing connections can lead to referrals. Also, just make sure when people refer you business, you're thanking them with a note, a phone call, or even a gift as a token of your appreciation. So for me, when someone gives me a referral, whether it's an acreage or land sale or not, I actually send people gift cards periodically as just kind of an extra thank you for them kind of putting my name out there and also putting themselves kind of on the line, because we all know that if we get a referral from someone, whether it be for a doctor or a dentist or something like that, if your experience is good, you're going to go back to that friend and tell them how awesome it was. But if your experience was not good, you're going to go back and tell that friend, and they're going to feel kind of bad for passing that referral on to you. Also, creating specialized marketing materials. So developing marketing materials tailored to your niche is super important. This includes a niche-focused website, promotional materials, or social media content. So all of these things we do in our on our real estate team, but we are pretty social media heavy. So again, if you go look at any of my social accounts, you will figure out very quickly what some of my interests are. And those are the kind of clients that I'm trying to attract. Also, content marketing. So share your knowledge through blog posts, articles, or videos that are focused on your niche. This establishes you as the authority in that specific area. And client testimonials also go a super long way. So collect and showcase testimonials from clients within your niche. Positive experiences build trust and attract similar clients. And I can say this with certainty that this is basically what's happened for me. So it really just kind of took like 1 year of getting the ball rolling for people to really see that this was the focus that I wanted to have, and that I was actually doing a good job at it and could deliver a really high level of service with some of the special knowledge that I have about acreage and land sales. And that's why people keep coming to me year after year. And then also utilizing technology. So I would love to say that some niches, maybe you don't need to utilize technology, but we are in a technology driven world. And so I just think it's super important to still focus on that. However, especially for like land and acreage sales, it is super important to use technology, because it's not like I can go to someone's private property and knock on their door and tell them about the house that I had for sale 5 miles down the road. So and then consistency. So be consistent with your messaging and marketing efforts. Consistency helps establish your brand within the chosen niche. My example is calling myself the acreage queen, because now everyone else calls me in relation to this real estate niche. And then I think probably the other two things that are super important to think about is you do have to adapt, evolve, and sometimes continue to offer unique and special services. So provide services that cater specifically to your niche. This could be unique negotiating strategies or additional support tailored to your target audience. So for me, my husband and I are actually working on some added benefits that people can get when they want to buy a property with us that is where they're wanting to homestead, for example. So we have a lot of experience in that realm, and offering people additional services for things like that will benefit the client for years to come. And that's how you get repeat and for life customers. Remember that developing a niche does take time, and success might not happen overnight for you. Consistent effort, a genuine passion for your chosen niche, and a focus on providing exceptional service will contribute to your long-term success in real estate. Also, just to kind of add as like a final note to this, I think that there's a lot of people who give up too early. And by that, I just mean you do have to consistently get that message across to people. Like I said, it took me about a year for people to really start recognizing me as the expert in that field. And while that whole time, like, I believed it, I was promoting it. So don't give up too quickly if you're not getting kind of the traction that you're looking for. Feel free to DM me on Instagram if you have more questions about this, or even just might have an idea for a niche, but you're a little unsure of how it will go off. I would love to chat with you about this and answer all of your burning questions. Thank you so much for listening to Roots and Roofs podcast today. If you loved today's episode, please let me know. I love hearing from you on Instagram and Facebook, so feel free to send me a DM or tag me in your stories so I can share it too. If you're looking for more information about today's topic, please visit my website, mahoganyacres.com, and all of the information that is listed in the show notes below. Until next time.